Hey, how's it going guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at 3 of Hearthstone Mercenaries' best PvP comps. Now the reason I'm doing a video like this and showing you guys a few comps is because it's quite difficult to find comps anywhere online. If you're looking at streams and watching streams, then obviously you can take ideas from people, but looking for an actual comp on a website, the only one I found really is Out of Cards. So go check that out if you are a bit stuck on what comps to play, but otherwise keep in touch with this channel and I will put as many as I can out in the future. So I'm going to show you what openers to start with these comps. I'm going to show you the equipment they use and also some of the combos that you can pull off with these comps. If you enjoy the video and it helps you, then please like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot as always. And let's get into these comps. Okay, so the first comp on my list, and the reason it's first is because I believe it's one of the best, and that is Sam Shadow, or Shadow Sam, whatever you want to call it. So your opener is Samuro, Natalie and Vol'jin. So why is this comp so good? So what you do is you've got the speed manipulation with Vol'jin and Natalie's Shadow. So you have Ring of Haste, which increases the speed, which puts your first ability down to 3 speed, and Natalie's first ability down to 1 speed. Plus, she is running the Splinter, which is making her AoE, heal, and damage only 3, and because of Vol'jin, it's only 3, and there's no cooldown, so you can actually use this on turn 1. So you can queue up a 3 speed with Vol'jin, slowing down one of their guys, which is amazing, and then a 3 speed AoE. So that Sam has any target he wants to attack with the double strike, he's going to get his 2 attacks off. So this in the mirror always kills off Vol'jin. Both your Vol'jins die in the mirror. And then obviously you can knock out their King Mutla with the first 2 abilities, and then Sam can still turn into like any other minion on the board. So if you want to try and target Anduin, you can. So it may not kill the Anduin, but it's definitely going to do quite a lot of damage for it. So that's why this comp's so good. It's got a flexible opener, and it's really difficult to try and bypass that unless you're running King Mutla in your opening lineup. And then even that isn't that strong to counter it, in my opinion. So with Sam, people were running Sash quite a lot and getting a second mirror, but at the moment people have been like switching it up a little bit, and they're running the Burning Blades again, getting that extra damage, because that extra damage is needed now that people are starting to max out their mercenaries. And then with Natalie, we're running, like I said, her Splinter, so she has no cooldown. Vol'jin's Ring of Haste, because the speed buff. And then on the bench, we have the obvious 3, or the obvious 2, which is Karen Diablo. For those of you who don't know why Karen Diablo are in the bench for most comps, it's because Karen being able to manipulate speed to make everything on your side go first, and then Diablo using the Fire Stomp, repeat for each enemy that hasn't acted yet, is just too good as a bench lineup. They come down off cooldown, so as soon as these 2 drop, especially Karen with the Resurrection, they come down, you do the Endurance Aura, or if it's only Karen that's come down, you've still got the Resurrection, so that it comes back. So you Earth Stomp, and then the turn after, if they kill something, you bring Diablo down and you do the Fire Stomp with the Endurance Aura, wiping out quite a lot of their board and gaining quite a lot of health with Diablo. Now this one is a bit flexible in this comp, so I'm running Gruul in this just because there's a lot of Diablo still. You can replace that with Cookie to give your guys more health. That's probably the best sub for Gruul if you don't have it or if you don't want to run it. Or a Blink Fox just to help in the mirror matches in the late game. Now the second comp on the list is Nature Sam. So this is very similar to Shadow Sam, but in my opinion this one's a little bit different. It's a little bit fun. I feel like the Shadow does one thing, where this can do a few different things. So you've got the Malfurion as your opener with the Brucon and Sam. So the idea with this is with Malfurion you want to try and get the speed manipulation up with the Centenarial Surge. So this is going to target something. If they're going to slow you down with like a Shadow comp, then you've got Brucon's 4 speed Muddy Footprints, which also slows one of their guys down. And then those 2 there, if you target the same minion, Sam comes down with his double strike, and he is able to 9 times out of 10 kill off that minion that you've teamed up on. Now the nice thing with this comp is that you've got the Malfurion and the Brucon that are both nature that pair well together. Also, you've got Cookie, which is also nature. So if they try and team up on Sam, then your Malfurion, Brucon and Cookie are just still good nature comps to be able to carry you through. And then obviously you've got your Karen Diablo at the end. And if Cookie's still alive because they're going to team up on Malfurion because the heal is too much to handle, then Cookie's Go Fish with the Karen and Diablo's Endurance Aura and Fire Stomp is really easy to pull off, and a massive benefit from the Death Rattle is always given as well. So Malfurion is running obviously his Life Root Staff because this restores 6 every time you use a nature ability, which is every turn. Oh, and one more thing to mention as well, the Entangling Roots on turn 2 if you're up against a Sam comp is just insane. Stopping their Sam attacking is just too good to like not do. You do lose out on a speed buff the next turn, but 9 times out of 10 you've got Cookie down or a Karen down anyway, so something might have died, and then you can just use Cookie's speed at 2, which is always going to go first to help with Sam, or Karen comes down and you can try and go for a speed manipulation in order to get Sam's speed off. And then obviously you've like the rest of the stuff, so you got Lightning Rod with Brucon, because this, once you've got a couple of spell damage on it, is insanely powerful, especially if you're against like a rag comp. And then Samurai obviously running Burning Blade again because of everybody's maxed. Cookie's Appetizers because it's insane. And then Diablo's Soulstone because it's giving him health. And Resurrection with Karen as always. Now the third and final comp I want to cover in this is the new upcoming comp, which seems to be insane. And that is the Holy Corn, which is a Cornelius Holy build. So why has this one become so strong and so popular recently? It's because of the buff that Cornelius got. So the Hold the Front is really good for a turn 2 ability, being able to taunt up. You don't need that Mookla in order to protect your stuff. The only thing that really counters this heavily is a Beast comp, but who sees those that often anyway? Unless this comes up quite a lot, and then which people sub into a Beast comp. But until then, this comp is really strong. Now the reason it's good and the combo you want to pull off is its Blessing of Sacrifice. Whenever this Merc takes damage, you can actually queue that up with Anduin, so that Anduin doesn't take that much damage on the following turn, so that you can easily queue Velen's Blessing and Holy Nova, giving you huge heals. Plus Cornelius is a human, so Anduin's Penance isn't just gonna heal himself anymore. So if you taunt on turn 1 with Cornelius and it does take damage, then Anduin is going to come down with his Penance on speed 4 and give him a little bit of health, which obviously gives Anduin that buff on turn 1, which is surprisingly good. So the equipment you want to be using is Purity Ring to give him obviously the health to get him out of range from anything. You do want to be using Cornelius's passive take 1 less damage. Unfortunately I don't have it yet, but I am on the way to getting it. You have Velen's Holy Blast that restores 4 more health to a character. So people have been using the Death Rattle, but I feel that the Tomb of Inspiration is insane. Having that extra 4 heals, sometimes game changing. And then once again you've got the Diablo, Karen finishers and Cookie as well in there to give them a little bit more health to keep them even further out of range if you do come up against those beasts. So that's it for the 3 comps that in my opinion are the best at the moment that I keep seeing quite a lot of on ladder. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope this one has helped you find something to play. If it has, then please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so I can continue doing these videos for you. I will get some more out, a lot more different ones as well. I want to look at some of the buffed minions that, you know, could potentially make a decent comp once they're maxed. But until they're maxed, I can't really do that. But I am looking into it. I hope, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.